find yourself doing things where you say, gosh, if only this was off my plate? If only somebody else could do this for me, I would have more time to do the things that are most important to me and to my job. If you're in sales, the most important thing are doing activities that drive sales. Do you find yourself buried in operational burden? Well, I'm here to tell you, through the power of empowerment and delegation, you're going to open up a world of time that enables you to drive world-class results. In fact, this may be the most important topic in terms of getting things done and scaling your organization. Well, what topic is that? It's all around delegation and empowerment. In today's video, we're going to dive into why this is so important, both for you as the person who is delegating and also for your team members or those around you that you're empowering and delegating to. In addition, I'm going to give you some simple tips in terms of how you're going to be successful in navigating these muddy waters of delegation. Remember, it's not about just dumping work on somebody, it's about enabling a skill that maybe they didn't have before. Well, let's dive right in. Let's start with why empowerment and delegation is so important and so crucial. It goes back to one of the foundations that we learned earlier, trust. Trust is so crucial, and there's nothing more that says, I trust you, than allowing you to help execute on an important task or an important initiative that I have. Now, I know what you're thinking. Many of you are saying, Mark, I've tried to delegate before. I've tried to give ownership to individuals, but what happens is perhaps they fall flat. Or maybe you're thinking, I can do it better. I can do it faster. Look, I'm here to tell you that not only by empowering somebody, by giving them that trust, are you going to be able to scale your business faster, but what you're going to be able to do is help build capabilities in team members that they didn't have before. So look, it may be the case that in the beginning, you end up having maybe a little bit of a slower start. You try to give somebody a task, something that you're great at, something you've been doing for years, and you say, they kind of fell flat. But that's okay. When you look at their capabilities and empower them and educate them in the right way, you're going to give them a skill set that they've never had before. So the second why is you're giving them an opportunity to showcase, to shine, to expand their capabilities. Not only is this important for them to test what they're capable of, but it's important for you as a leader to understand who your key players are, where their strengths are, where their opportunities, and who you can rely on to give tasks to in the future, and what those types of tasks are. Let's go on to number 3. Number 3 comes back to that development. By giving a foundation of development, you're teaching individuals how to be successful. Think about it. Many hands make light work. You understand that as a leader, but how are you going to scale your organization fast enough if you don't have all of those hands rowing in the right direction? All right, now that we talked about some of the whys and some of the critical reasons, hopefully you're bought in terms of delegation and empowerment, let's talk about how. Mark, how am I going to get those around me to do things to expectation and, like I said, exceeding expectation? Number 1 is all about clear, crisp communication. It is crucial that you deliver a message deliberately, succinctly, and in a way that you and I understand exactly what's expected. You've heard of the game of telephone. What we want to do is short circuit that and ensure by both actively telling and asking questions and listening that the person we're delegating to has interpreted the message successfully. They feel that there's a safe environment for them to ask questions, and they're able to interpret and execute on the rules of engagement. Clear communication is so important, and I'll tell you the number 1 reason why delegation and empowerment fails is because we didn't communicate in the right way. All right, let's dive into number 2. Number 2 is all around the follow-up. You need to inspect what you expect. Now look, this does not mean micromanagement, but this does mean regular check-ins, asking if support is needed, ensuring that timelines are met. And remember, if we go back to clear communication, one of the most important things you need to do when you're communicating that message is instilling a clear expectation as to when this project is due. By following up not only are you showing those that you're empowering that you care, but you're also helping to avoid the inevitable mistakes and mishaps that are going to happen. So follow up, whether it be through text, through email, through a quick phone call, through a sidebar conversation. Why don't you check on those around them that are working on the project to see if the expectations are being met? You're going to be surprised how many items you find that you can quickly address when you follow up regularly. All right, let's get into the final how for today in our Foundations of Leadership. We're going to talk about paying it forward. Here's how you multiply and start to get to 10 and 20x in terms of your reach and your capabilities. Once you've developed those around you, you've given them an opportunity to succeed, you provided them with recognition for a job well done, you now have an opportunity to have them evangelize and help others to give them those same skills. Now, the key is you need to ask. You need to ask and show. You need to show them how you train them and how they can do the same and force multiply your capabilities. Think about it. When you have those around you that are empowering others, that are recognizing others, that are developing others within your same organization or the organizations around you, think about how fast you're going to end up with the exact results that you want and how fast you're going to end up with even greater results because those around you are more capable and they're exceeding expectations. Look, I know it's not easy to take something that's really important and hand it over to somebody else to do. But I'm telling you, if you follow these few simple steps, you're going to end up with a result that's better than you could possibly imagine. All right, team, I hope you found this extremely valuable. These are just a few tips in terms of how you empower and delegate. Let me know in the comments which ones you like the most, and let me know what else you want to hear about in our Foundations of Leadership series. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch the other videos, please go ahead and click on the channel. You can check out all the videos that we have in our series. We're going to continue to produce these based on your feedback, and we're going to deliver Foundations of Leadership to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.